Rams house. We are just over 24 hours away from the NFC Championship game. Can you feel the electricity in the air, my friends? I have been waiting for this one all week long. I know you guys have. I cannot wait for this game. It is going to be an absolute just treat to watch. I really do think so. And I think the Rams are going to win. We did our preview. We talked about Rams keys to victory earlier this week. Check that out on the channel if you haven't already. But today, we're talking biggest storylines for this game. 3 things that I think just as football fans, we can sit back and enjoy in what should be a fantastic one. Number 1 on our list, and I think probably the most obvious storyline, going for both teams in this one, winning the series. Bring it home, baby. We're 1-1 with the Seahawks. Both of these teams hate each other. Divisional rivalry. Going all the way back to when they reorganized things back in 2002. And it's been neck and neck in every sense of the word, but especially this season. The all-time series between these two teams is 29-28 Seattle, so separated by just 1 game. But this season, we've seen one be a theme a lot with these teams. Obviously, they're 1-1 in the series. They are separated by just 1 point in their 2 games, with the Rams having 58 and the Seahawks having 57. They're separated by just 1 total yard, with the Rams having 830 yards and the Seahawks having 829, and they're separated by 0.2 yards per play. The only notable discrepancy, and this is something we hit on big time in our preview, is the turnover battle. But these 2 games were as close gets. And round 3, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, these two, it's a heavyweight fight. I think these 2 teams are the best in the NFL. I don't even really think it's close. I think this game right here, this NFC Championship, in some ways is your Super Bowl. Not to disrespect the teams coming over from the AFC Championship, but this is the head-to-head between the 2 best teams in the NFL, in my opinion. And they've already seen each other twice. They know each other oh so well. Guys like Cooper Kupp who've played for both sides. Guys like Cooper Kupp who've know people on both ends of this. Good friend of Matthew Stafford, now becoming a friend of Sam Darnold. I'm absolutely sure there's so much built into round 3 of this. And we're going to get into 2 more storylines coming up in just a minute in this one. And I think they're even bigger. Obviously, round 3 is the most obvious. Settling the score is the most obvious. But the 2 that I want to hit on, I think they're a little bit less obvious. And we'll get to them in just 1 second. But first, if you want the Rams to win, if you want the Rams to bring home the NFC Championship, to go to the frickin' Super Bowl, that's what's on the line tomorrow, guys. The Super Bowl. Don't forget what's on the line. Like today's video. If you want that to happen, smash that like button. Send the message to the Rams. Send the message to YouTube that the Rams house is here at Chat Sports and that we're winning tomorrow. Second storyline. The revenge of Kevin Dotson. Kevin Dotson, I think, maybe more so. We talked about the team wanting revenge, but I think individually Dotson has a strong case for the most individual revenge path here. If you missed it in week 16, Derick Hall, and I don't say this lightly, absolutely scummy move on his part to stomp on Kevin Dotson's ankle. Dotson's on the ground. He's in an extremely vulnerable position. And Derick Hall, out of frustration at this point, comes up and stomps on his ankle. And I wish I could show you guys the video. NFL doesn't like when we do that, obviously. But if you watched the full video, it's harder to tell in a still. This is as intentional gets. He was suspended for a game for this. The NFL's disciplinary board reviewed it and said, yeah, you know what? What are you doing, man? You're a scumbag. You got to be suspended for a game here. And Kevin Dotson wants his vengeance. He has talked about this On Instagram, I've seen him posting about it. He's a fun follow if you don't already follow him. He clearly is locked in on this one. He's given interviews talking about this game, about how excited he is. And if you didn't already know how keyed up he is coming back in the divisional, obviously he missed the wild card. He missed week 17, week 18, all thanks to Derick Hall. But he made his presence felt in Chicago. 91.3 PFF grade. One of the highest on the entire team. I think that's actually the highest on the entire team outside of Cam Curl. 78 snaps played, on which he allowed just one pressure and no sacks. And he mauled people in the run game, as K-Dot does all year long. He's going to bury Seattle, especially Derick Hall. Derick Hall, brother, you got a world of hurt coming tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you right now, you have got a world of hurt coming tomorrow. I know Kevin Dotson is going to make his presence felt in this one. I know we're going to have a moment where it's like Kevin Dotson is getting out to the second level, just blowing people up, probably after he pancakes Derick Hall. Just going to be a fantastic day from K-Dot. I can't wait to see him get his revenge. And lastly, Puka versus JSN. Two best receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. We get to see him go head-to-head in this one. And I think Puka is probably feeling a little slighted right now, guys. And if you don't know why, Offensive Player of the Year finalists were announced, I believe it was on Thursday, a couple days ago at this point. And FanDuel, at the time that they announced the finalists, has Jaxson Smith-Njigba at minus 1,100 odds to win the award. And if you're not a guy who likes to do the whole betting thing, I totally understand. You're not too familiar with odds. That basically means JSN has locked this thing up. They're not giving Puka any chance. They're not giving anybody else any chance. And I think us as Rams fans are rightfully outraged by that, rightfully find that to be an absolutely ridiculous thing for these Vegas sportsbooks to do, to just declare Jackson Smith-Njigba the best player, offensive player in the NFL this season, when Puka has been phenomenal all year long. When Puka has been, in large part, one of the biggest reasons why we are as good as we are. Why the Rams are, in my opinion, the best team in the NFL. He's the heartbeat of our offense, game in and game out. I wish he'd been more involved last week in the division. But I think he has an opportunity this week to show, in the face of JSN, against a team he tore up in Week 16, that he is the NFL's best receiver. And I already think he's the best receiver. I think he's the best offensive player in the entire league that isn't a quarterback. I think he's the most valuable non-QB in the entire league, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And I think this game, on the biggest stage he's had yet in his career, he'll have an opportunity to prove it. Not matched up, but across from a guy that a lot of people believe right now is the best. Go out there and prove them all wrong, Puka. Show him you're the best, 12. Show him that should be your award. Even if it's too late for the voters to change their mind. I think it already is. I think they've already locked in. Show them how wrong they were tomorrow. Those are the three things I'm so excited to watch for in this game. But I got to tell you guys, we are, again, like I said, less than 24 hours away, or just over 24 hours away, depending on when you're watching this one, from the game. And the game tomorrow, we're going to have a live stream, just like we did for the wild card against the Panthers, just like we did for the divisional against the Bears. So make sure you are locked in on that one. It's going to be all Rams fans hanging out. I'm going to be head to toe in my Rams gear, going absolutely crazy for LA, because they need us to show up big time and show out as fans. So make sure you're in the live. Make sure you're hanging out with us, Rams fans. Make sure you're having a great time. And I will see you guys then.